Hi, I'm Rebecca with Monit's Vocal Studio. Let's check in. Hi, I'm Rebecca with Monit's Vocal Studio, and today's Let's Check In is featuring Dakota, one of my former students from Coeur d'Alene High School, who I've known now for 10 years. And so you will see that it's on my little iPhone SE because we did a FaceTime conversation because he's in another part of the country. And so, it's a little makeshift, a little blurry, but you know what? I think you're going to enjoy the interview no less. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Dakota. I'm in the United States Navy, been in there for 5 years, graduated from Coeur d'Alene High School, spent all 4 years with Miss Moniz, going through choir, glee, and guitar class. And then I also was in the musical in Coeur d'Alene as well, called The Boyfriend.
So first things first, Dakota, tell us about 14-year-old Dakota.
He was an idiot.
Why was he an idiot? Give us details.
Well, it's like 14-year-old Dakota was lost. He didn't have any idea of what he really wanted to do. He just knew he liked music. But if you would have known his ability and what he would actually end up being able to do, he probably would have practiced and done a lot more with it when he was younger.
Okay. So how old are you now?
24.
So tell us about 24-year-old Dakota.
After many more hours of practicing, I'm a lot better, obviously, with time. But work with a recording studio now, record music, write music, and trying to do what I love to do, which is make and perform. Perform, too. I play at venues and trying to get into weddings and whatnot.
Okay. So before I have you play anything, just for anyone watching this video, I mean, it's like a night and day difference. I mean, yes, 10 years will make a difference for anyone, but I know plenty of 24-year-old knuckleheads. I know plenty of 44-year-old knuckleheads, and Dakota's made a huge leap. You've grown tremendously. I mean, it's very clear. So for anyone who's curious what you needed to do in a nutshell from 14 to 24 to get where you are today, what are some of the key things that you had to do to grow?
You have to be a better person than the day you were before. Constantly strive to do something better. Okay. And that's just looking yourself in the mirror. What do I not like? It all is really just tied into one thing. It's if this part of your life is not good and you don't feel like you're doing too well, if you fix it, other parts of your life get better. Because everything all affects each other. It's just all big, copacetic thing. Mm-hmm. And just look at yourself in the mirror. What do I want to change about myself? Well, I don't like that I just wait for my turn to talk with people instead of actually listening to what they're saying. Okay, then you start working on, well, how do I do that? Well, every time somebody talks to you, how about you just pay attention to what they're saying and then try to take note of it until that becomes second nature, and then just work on the next thing.
So what Dakota's pointing out is it's more than just the music. You actually have to grow as a human being because we are whole beings. And so that's huge. That's one of the things that we dig into in my studio. We don't just address this. It's everything. And you can't just come in and expect to land it without doing the work in other places. It just doesn't work. 100% true. Sorry. There's really no room for opinion. Sorry. You can disagree if you want to. But it's the truth, right?
Yeah, it is the truth.
It is the truth. Sure. I mean, everyone I know that's really gone on to do great things as a musician has had to take a look at the deeper things. So, anything else about yourself today that who you are today, looking back, some of the things that you've gleaned over the years and as far as growth is concerned?
Specifically with music?
Or as a person?
As a person, things that I'm being more humble. Yeah, realizing, I used to think when I was, high school or Coeur d'Alene High, there weren't too many great guitarists there. There were, a few, but, I got to a point where I was just oh, yeah, I'm really good, I'm the best out there because I can do this. And then look on YouTube and
right.
travel the world a bit, and you realize, I'm the speckle on their shoe.
Yes.
Actually,
there's a lot totally.
Really, no matter how good you are at anything, there's always somebody better, and that shouldn't get you down. It should kind of strive you to, well, how can I get to that level? What's the next thing I have to do? That's
right. That's good. Do you have anything you can play for us right now?
Yeah. Trying to think of what would be a good. This is actually something I'm working on right now because I don't know how much I'm going to get to play, but I have a hard time with deciding what song is like good but not too good. Because if I'm going to play another song, I don't want it to be a letdown, So trying to come up with a little set, that's actually kind of hard for me to do.
You got to pace yourself.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's see.
Nice. One thing I've noticed is, like we talked about this before, like when you were at Coeur d'Alene High School, rhythm, we talked about that, was you didn't, now it's like you're getting it. You're settling into all of that and understanding how there's that sense of tempo, rhythm. Yes, it's really cool.
That was the biggest shock when I sat down into the booth for the recording studio for the first time, because they're like, so do you want a click track? And I'm like, what's a click track? And I played it in my ear, and I was like, God, no, I don't want that thing in my ear. That sounds horrible. Like, it's just the thing that goes click,
yep,
click,
yep,
and it's like tempo. So I was like, no, I'll keep tempo. And then the next thing they know, I'm listening. My foot keeps the tempo, but this hand and this hand, they go off tempo. So then the next thing is, it seems like this foot doesn't know what the heck it's doing.
Yeah.
So we're listening to the thing over again, and I'm tapping loud enough for the microphone to pick it up.
Yeah.
And it would be a cool effect if it was all in beat. So I have to redo it. And then like, just try it with the click track. And I'm like, all right, fine, we'll try it with the click track. And then it was just like, I started playing with it, and I was like, whoa, this is really hard. I need to practice. So I got a little tempo app on my phone, and at night I would sit there and with like really rhythmic things like
nice.
I would sit there, put the click on, and I would sit there and just do it over and over again. And I still haven't gotten one thing down, is being able to count at the beats. I can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'll maybe get a couple measures in, and then I lose myself in what I'm doing. Then I'm like, 2, 3, 2, 4, and then I mess it up. So
I know what you're talking about. You get kind of trapped in that whole thing. I get it. Here's something I have one more question I have for you. I often have students who come to me who they'll hear you and go, wow, he's so good. Like I should just, what's the point? I get older students who are just now starting singing for the first time and it's been on their bucket list and they're like, life is short. I need to do this. And then they get frustrated from the very beginning because they're not singing like a professional singer within the first week or the first 6 weeks or the first 6 months. And they forget that it's a marathon. What would you say to someone like that that's feeling frustrated right away?
Ooh, that's hang in there, because I'm the same way. I had that same problem. I did not feel good enough in my voice, and I still mess up notes. I'm not no professional singer by any means. It's really you just kind of find out. It's like, I don't know if the students ever give a listen to Tyler Childers. He's a famous singer right now and songwriter, and honestly, he's pitchy. Most of the time, he's not really hitting the right notes. And musically, that could be considered wrong by theory, because that's not right. You're supposed to be on the pitch. You're supposed to be doing that. Right. But music is so expressive, there's no wrong way to do it. So
it's so artistic.
So even if your version is, maybe you can't hit the higher notes, or you can't, okay, well, instead of going high in that part, go low in that part. And then those mid-ranges where it's low enough for you to hit a higher part, just switch it. And then people are going to be like, well, I know that song, but it sounds so interesting. And the next thing you know, you catch other people's ears. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that's cool. That gives me a nice little something to work with here with my students. Anything else you'd like to add?
Love what you do and do what you love. All right. You guys have a good one. Peace out.
Thanks, Dakota.